The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor who's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Frank Gaetano here with your daily 12 p.m. hail forecast, as always brought to you by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and Balance Claims. Thanks again to Rodney Lawson for doing our forecast yesterday. That was kind of a fun thing, and I think he killed it. He did an amazing job. Let's get right back into our weather headlines here. We have hail underway, currently ongoing storms in Texas since early this morning. About 7:30 is when they fired up. They've been going on all morning, and we do have more hail expected for Texas today. Can we see hail in Austin or Houston? We'll talk about that in just a minute. And tomorrow, we do have a marginal risk for central eastern Texas into Louisiana, and we'll talk about that just a little bit. Let's go into yesterday's storm reports. We do have a spattering of large hail reports across Texas, into Louisiana, down by the Gulf Coast. And then if we move over towards the East Coast, we also had some storms there yesterday with another spattering of hail reports. We actually had a storm go through southeastward through North Carolina that dropped baseball-size hail, as well as we do have some high wind reports from yesterday as well. And where does that take us for the year? Well, we did have 0 reports for tornadoes yesterday, 23 large hail reports yesterday, and 7 high wind reports, and that puts us at 225 tornado reports for the year, 1,120 large hail reports, and just over 1,300 wind reports. Large hail's keeping up with the wind. Normally the wind kind of takes off and leaves the large hail reports in the dust. We are keeping up with the wind as of right now, this far into storm season. So going into, if my clicker will work, current conditions, we do see we had some storms on the Gulf Coast, earlier. Quarter-size hail in Foley, Alabama earlier this morning around 6, 7 o'clock. And if we back up here, these are the storms that are ongoing in Texas. They started around the Mexico border around 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, have been tracking east-northeastward throughout the day, have some left-split supercells, big-time hail makers that have been going on pretty much all morning. We'll see how far those can actually make it. And as we zoom out, check out our current temperatures here. Not too warm across most of the country. A chilly 38 in Denver, only 59 degrees in Dallas, 68 in Houston, 43 up Minneapolis, and we have some rain and mid-50s, lower 50s temperatures in the northeast. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, it's not too hot in Texas. Why do we have a risk in Texas? Well, I'll go over and show you the dew points as well. It's also not too moist in Texas either. 61 degree dew point in Houston. You guys are used to the upper 60s, lower 70s dew points. So there's not a crazy amount of moisture in the risk area today. And that's because the storms that are going to be going on in Texas are really elevated above the surface layer. So the surface dew points don't really have too much of an effect on the storms today. That instability is up higher in the atmosphere. And actually a lot of it, a good portion of it, is in what we call the hail growth zone. So the instability is good for hail today, it's just not at the surface today. So we'll go into the dew point forecast, and you see not too much of that moisture coming up into south central Texas in the Houston area. So we're not looking at crazy dew points for Houston, but Houston still is in the risk. Here's our future radar. Stops around 2 p.m. as we do see some storms in the Austin metro. And if I move this forward, it's going to pick up on a storm. That's the one. That's the storm that we're looking at for Houston today. It's kind of a make or break day for Houston, as we do see this is the third, fourth model run in a row where for the HRRR model, where we see it picking up on this storm going through the northern side of the Houston metro. Take the exact location with a grain of salt, but it's been picking up on it all morning, so Houston is in our risk. It's going to be make or break. If this storm happens, we could see big hail in Houston, and we do expect some storms to be in the Austin area, so those could also see some pretty big hail. But as of right now, this one storm in the Houston metro is kind of what we're looking at for the make or break situation in Houston for today. And what kind of hail sizes can we see with that? Well, forecast max hail size for me today is going to be about tennis ball size. Not saying we can't see anything bigger, but generally the biggest you're going to see out of the storms today is going to be about tennis ball size hail. Here's our hail forecast map for today. You see the red coming in for today in through central Texas and then dipping its way down towards Houston. That's up to tennis ball size hail. And let's zoom in here and take a look at our probabilities. Moderate chance for Austin. Do see some storms coming through the Austin area. And then we do have that one storm that has been picking up going through Houston. So I'm keeping Houston at a low probability because it is make or break today with that one storm. And then we also have a risk for late tonight, because it's not really tonight, it's more tomorrow morning between like 6 and 8 o'clock, right at the end of the forecast period for today into tomorrow, and then tomorrow morning for Lafayette and New Orleans. We could see some hail up to about $half size with some more elevated storms. Pretty conditional risk, but if that does happen, we could see hail up to $half size with those storms really early tomorrow morning going into your morning commute through that area. Let's see if this will actually work. Here's your city forecast for Austin, Texas. Maximum hail size, about tennis ball size hail. Chance of 1-inch hail happening, pretty moderate chance. And then we're keeping the chance because we do consistently see several storms firing in the Austin metro around now to about 5 p.m. We're keeping the chance for greater than golf ball size hail at moderate as well. And let's move to Houston. And I just discussed this with Houston, but here's a graphical representation of it. We've got tennis ball size hail possible in the Houston metro, but again, low chance. It's only picking up on that one storm, so it's make or break for 1-inch hail and for greater than golf ball size hail for Houston. And that's going to be around 7, 8, 9 o'clock, so about 7 through 10 p.m. for Houston. Let's take a look at tomorrow's hail risk. I mentioned eastern and central Texas, so we do have up to $half size hail, and this is preliminary for right now, up to $half size hail for central and eastern Texas. And then this is going to include storms for tomorrow morning for the Gulf Coast down in Louisiana, and then some afternoon storms possible in Alexandria, Louisiana, as we do see some more elevated storms happening tomorrow afternoon through central Louisiana. And let's take a look at the future radar for that. If this will run through, there we go. All right, so we see the storms going to tomorrow morning. Dallas, possibility that we wake up tomorrow and add Dallas to the risk. We'll have to see how that plays out tonight into tomorrow, but we do see the storms firing in central Louisiana and eastern Texas tomorrow afternoon. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll keep you updated with any more information regarding that. If you do want to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, at HailTrace for all of those locations. Hit us up on there. And if you do need to contact us, 855-334-4245. You can email us, info@hailtrace.com, or you hit us up right on our website at hailtrace.com for any questions, comments, or concerns. For HailTrace, I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and do those hail dances.